Greetings and welcome to the SecureAuth IdP video on push notification for enterprise authentication. Push notification. Maybe you've heard a little about it. You're definitely going to learn a lot about it on this video, especially with the demo Chris is going to show. It's all about the quick and rapidity of the message coming to the phone in a secure manner. It's coming straight from Microsoft and Google to your phone via the SecureAuth app. It's out-of-band authentication over a mutually authenticated secure transport system. Great. What SecureAuth has done for it is integrated it into an authentication system, giving you one-touch verification and SSO into multiple resources. Chris, why don't we show the audience what exactly we have?
Absolutely. So I'm going to show my screen here. And what you're going to see on my screen is a couple of things. You're going to see the target resource I'm trying to get access to. In this case, it's GoToMeeting. And over on the right-hand side, you see my telephone. So the telephone is my phone. I've registered to receive push notifications from the SecureAuth appliance that's in the enterprise. Enterprise meaning inside of your network connected to your Active Directory, eDirectory, SQL, whatever we want. So I'm a user outside of the network. I'm trying to get access to GoToMeeting. I'm going to type in my AD username. We're going to then present some options to this user that have to deal with non-persistent strong authentication. So we've got the concept of persistent and non-persistent. Typically, we use these methods as an enrollment procedure for a persistent type of authentication, meaning heuristic-based authentication. In this case, we're saying, hey, Chris, get a one-time code every time. So I've got some options here, and these are all options that we include with the product. Hey, get a phone call, get an SMS, get a push notification or a soft token. In this instance here, I'm going to choose a push notification. So I'm going to go ahead and select that, click on Submit. And then a second here on the right-hand side, we're going to see is that push notification sent from SecureAuth server to Apple and to Google, and then onto my mobile application that's registered to receive push notifications. And I can see it's 833966. I'm going to go ahead and type that in here. I'm going to click on Submit. Now we're going to say, great, that one-time code is valid. I'm going to ask them for their password. And I'm going to give them access to, in this case, GoToMeeting, but this can be Office 365, a VPN, an F5 APM, anything that we want. The post-authentication actions are built into the product, allowing you to very easily assert that identity into any application that you want.
Fantastic. So why don't we summarize this for our audience, okay? So the advantage is, itemized first, secure variable registration, user device inventory, seeing which devices you have push notification, revoking the authentication, and then integrating it into the SSO, all done in a low friction manner. So the secure variable registration, that's, as Chris showed in this first screen, it was one of the options. Maybe some of the users can't get push on their phones, or maybe some can't. You have the option to use which one with our product. Device inventory. Advanced concept, let's try to simplify this for the audience, Chris. It's saying which devices are allowed per user for the push app. You can't, if you're going to have this app out there, well, let's know which devices are actually going to have this app in there. And that's what you did in your registration process, right, Chris?
Yeah, exactly. This is really important for individual users. What you're doing is you're empowering your user community to say, I know which devices are mine. Like I recently switched my phone. I can go ahead and modify my own personal device inventory to say, well, I don't have that Galaxy S3 anymore. Now I've moved on to the Note 3, and I can go ahead and revoke that Note 3's application.
And Chris makes a real good point because it's both user self-admin and help desk through SecureAuth. And what type of admin? Well, not only can they see what devices, they also can revoke each device. They can go in there and say, I no longer own this phone, for I don't want to have that push app represent me. Or an admin can go, we've suspended that user, and we can suspend all of these push notification apps.
Yeah, unbelievably powerful here for the help desk and administrative people. We're outnumbered tremendously in today's world by our individual end user community. And what happens here is that rather than be on the beck and call for anybody who might have lost their device at a bar at 3 o'clock in the morning, we can empower them to go ahead and revoke their own second factors of authentication here without having to get involved inside of the process. We'll still report on it and say that yes, it was revoked, but let's allow the users to do this themselves.
Well said. Right. Okay, and then the last one, which is extremely powerful, is we always see these videos and everyone talks about how great the authentication was, but into what? And that's what SecureAuth does. It takes the push notification, conducts the authentication, and then grants access to that user to the last mile, into Google, into Microsoft Office 365, into your VPNs, into your legacy web apps, even into your new mobile apps. Right, Chris?
Yeah, this is the second generation of strong authentication and even single sign-on. It's saying, hey, let's just not validate Garrett's identity. Let's assert the identity directly into the target application without having to go through and bring on another product to go ahead and do that.
And speaking of second generation, great way to sum this up, Chris. SecureAuth is a Gen 2 OTP solution, a Gen 2 one-time password, because we can do the push first, and then we fingerprint the device and remember that device by associating it with the user. And therefore, subsequent authentications, you don't have to step through and do the one-time password every time. You just literally, the system knows who you are and then asserts you. Much cleaner way of doing legitimate two-factor. Right, Chris?
Yeah, in today's news, we always see push our fingerprinting being used for marketing and things like this. We've decided and found out and heard from our customers that this is actually a great solution to validate your identity. Well, how do I know that the fingerprint is really C. Hayes or G. Grayjack? Well, I'm going to send them a push notification or a phone call, but after that's done, let's take the fingerprint of the device so that we can use this for low friction, strong authentication on all subsequent authentications.